After being called an alien by people like LeBron James and being the unanimous #1 pick in the recent NBA draft, Victor Wembanyama has been essentially doubted all year, and a lot of people have been saying Chet Holmgren deserves to be Rookie of the Year over him, but Wemby has been undeniably better, especially recently. If you guys didn't hear last night, Wemby got a triple-double, but not a regular triple-double. He got a triple-double with blocks. And right here, we'll show a quick clip of his 10th block. And by the way, Grady Dick, who's on the Raptors, if you guys didn't know, is going to be the one that gets blocked. What is he doing? I honestly don't know. It almost looked like he wanted to be the guy that gave Wemby his 10th block, because look at this layup right here. He doesn't end up blocking this layup, but he literally airballs the layup. Like, I don't know what's going on with that, but he ends up picking it back up and just going up and getting his shit sent. Like, I don't know what Grady Dick's thinking, to be completely honest, but 10 blocks in a game, especially when you're a rookie, is literally insane. And so this is the company that Wemby is joining. He is the 5th player ever, it's the 8th instance because Hakeem's done it 4 times, to record 25 plus points, 10 plus boards, 10 plus blocks, and 5 plus assists in a game. You guys can see Hakeem did it 4 times, Kareem did it once, Ralph Sampson did it once, and David Robinson did it once. And the craziest part about all of this, at least to me, is his age. You guys can see he just turned 20 in January. So this is a guy that literally just left his teenage years. You know what I'm saying? He's going up against grown men. LeBron James is 39. All these guys that have been in the NBA for, 20, actually not, there's not too many that have been in the NBA for 20 years, but you know what I'm saying? A decade plus. Wemby just got in there and he is already one of the best players. We can see the final stat line: 27 points, 14 boards, 5 assists, and they don't even have the blocks up here. But if you look right here, 10 blocks, 2 steals. And another thing that's crazy about this performance is it was only in 29 minutes. Wemby didn't even play 30 plus minutes. And this is something that's been kind of regular for Wemby this year. They haven't really been giving him too much run. I guess they're kind of, easing him into the NBA. He's played 28 minutes per game this year. If you guys weren't watching the game, he got his 10th block like at the start of the 4th quarter, but the Spurs were just blowing out the Raptors. So they put in the backups and Wemby couldn't get any crazier stats. But if there's a close game, Wemby is putting up an even crazier stat line. He probably goes for, probably like 33 points, 16 boards, probably 12 blocks. Wemby's unreal, and to even have the debate anymore at this point, Chet versus Wemby for Rookie of the Year, it's kind of a joke. And something else that's very interesting is usually when you talk about Rookie of the Year, it doesn't have to do with team success, because a lot of these guys are on bad teams. The interesting thing with Chet is that he didn't play last year, so the Thunder got another year to improve. Chet got used to everything NBA related, and now the Thunder are actually good, and Chet is on one of the best teams in the league. Usually these players, Cade, Paolo, their rookie year, all these guys, their rookie year that go at the top of the draft and are usually in the running for Rookie of the Year, are on bad teams. So this is the first year where we really have to weigh in team success. Like, how much does this really matter? Because when you look at the numbers, Wemby is no doubt putting up better numbers than Chet. But when Chet is the 2nd best player, maybe 3rd if you want to put Jalen Williams over him, but you know what I'm saying? He's a major contributor to probably one, if not the 2nd best, 3rd best team in the Western Conference. You got to weigh that in, but it's just undeniable at this point. The numbers are just way better on Wemby's end. And so I wanted to see how many NBA players have gotten 10 blocks in a game and what are the recent games. So if we scroll down, we can see the recent games. We have Wemby's, of course, 2024. We can also see the dates, which is kind of interesting. Clint Capella was the last one in 2021. Barely, was January, so close to 2020. It's been almost 4 years since someone's got 10 blocks in the game. Here's the block column. So the last time someone got 10 plus was Hassan Whiteside in 2016. Whiteside had 4 straight. He had 2 in 2016, 2 in 2015. It's just interesting to see. You got Joakim Noah, Larry Sanders, Roy Hibbert, Serge Ibaka did it 3 times. And again, the craziest part is Wemby's 20. And I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say this, but I've said this in previous videos. I think Wemby's going to be the block leader in the NBA for almost all of his career, and just the total block numbers that he's going to put up and just accrue over I think that's the word, accrue over his NBA career is going to be insane. He's already pretty much breaking records, making history in his first season. And this is just crazy. Wemby stacking up against all the other rookies is 1st in points with 20.3, 1st in rebounds with 10, 1st in blocks with 3, by the way, He leads the league. I think he's at 3.2 blocks per game. So this is a little bit off, but leads the whole NBA in blocks, which we might talk about that more, but leads the whole NBA in blocks. So he's first in points, first in rebounds, first in blocks, first in steals against all the other rookies, and fourth in assists. And Wemby's not even known to be, you know, a crazy passer. But to be honest, I mean, how many rookies are there? Like 60 or maybe some more, but a lot of them don't get playing time. So how many really get solid playing time? 20, 25 maybe, I don't know. So fourth in assists, I mean, it's whatever. It's just crazy. Bro is dominating. Like, he's dominating. And I mean, I personally think he's locked up Rookie of the Year. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments. Again, love to reply to all the comments and just start a, you know, conversation, a debate down there. But to me, it's pretty much locked up. And I think Wemby's only going to get better as the season goes on. Now, obviously, coming into the NBA, Wemby was this crazy, highly touted guy. People have been speaking about him for years. And if anyone knows me, like if anyone I've talked to, if anyone from my fantasy basketball leagues watching this video, I'm sure they can vouch how high I've been on Wemby for, you know, over the past year. And so this little thread is something that I had bookmarked because Chalk, if you guys know Chalk, he's from the NBA 2K community. He was the one that ended up tweeting this. He said that he basically believes that Wemby is going to fail in the NBA and the expectations are way too high. So I said, do you think he will fail? This guy said, define fail for him specifically, anything less than Rookie of the Year. And I said, I don't know, but I doubt he disappoints. First few games may be a little rough, but by mid-end of season, he'll easily be scoring 20 and grabbing near 10 boards with a ridiculous amount of blocks per game. I think his defensive/rebounding floor makes it hard for him to fail. You guys look at it, 50 games into the season, Wemby is averaging 20 plus, 10 boards, and literally leading the NBA in blocks. I absolutely nailed my prediction, and Chalk ended up deleting his tweet about Wemby. Something that's interesting to me is, of course, Wemby's only 20. He's dominant. We've talked about all of that. I don't got to talk about that anymore. But with the Spurs, they had Tim Duncan. They had a whole dynasty basically with him. Before that, they had David Robinson. They always have this guy to build around. But as they are right now, as they currently stand, they suck. They're like the second worst team in the West. It's just they don't have a winning roster, right? So what's going to change? They obviously have to bring someone in. And to be honest, preseason, going into Wemby's rookie year, I thought there was a chance that somebody was like, you know what? I want to be the guy that goes to San Antonio and starts a dynasty. I believe in Wemby. I believe in Pop. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be the one. Before Jaylen Brown got his contract extension, I kind of had a thought. I don't think anyone was talking about it. Like, no NBA experts were like, Jaylen Brown might go to San Antonio. But I was thinking someone should do it because it would be pretty good for their career. Wemby's going to be insane again. I was probably higher on Wemby than most. I know a lot of people were high on him, but I was very high on him, as you can tell by my tweets and everything. Jaylen Brown ends up getting his contract extension in Boston. Somebody else was Kyrie, who went to the Mavericks. And then there's been rumors this year about maybe Trae Young going there. I don't think they're too serious, but we got to look at, is there going to be anybody? And in this offseason, it doesn't look like there is pretty much anybody that is, you know, kind of young, that, you know, could really start a dynasty and be Wemby's sidekick. Now, I do want to say, I think they're planning on kind of keeping Devin Vassell as well, but everybody else in the roster, I think, is pretty much not really in the long-term picture. I think Devin Vassell, I believe, is the only one. So yeah, this free agent class is not looking too crazy. I don't think James Harden would go there. You know, DeMar DeRozan, I don't think he'd go there. I mean, maybe, but I mean, I'm looking for some young guys. If we go to 2025, so not this offseason, but the one after, we have, you know, Jamal Murray. That could be crazy. Leaving Jokic to go play with Wemby. Yo, Jamal Murray, if he did that, he could actually end up with a crazy amount of rings potentially if that whole Wemby thing works out. I mean, Brandon Ingram maybe? Brandon Ingram? I don't know. Let's look at the next free agent class. We have Steph Curry. That would be crazy if Steph Curry late in his year went to San Antonio. I don't think that's going to happen though. I think he wants to be a Warrior for life. Kevin Durant, you know, we've seen him hop around from team to team. Maybe Jimmy Butler. You got Fred VanVleet, who was a free agent this year, who ended up going to Houston. SGA, potentially. Jason Tatum. I don't know. Donovan Mitchell. A lot of these seem crazy. You got De'Aaron Fox as well. A lot of these seem crazy. And it's like, that's never going to happen. Like Jason Tatum, for example, that's never going to happen. He's going to be a Celtic for life. You never know. People thought, you know, Westbrook would be a Thunder for life. People thought KD would be on the Thunder for life. You know, crazy things happen in the NBA. People thought LeBron, you know, they couldn't expect him ever to be a Laker, and it happened. All I'm saying is there's gonna be somebody. Remember this, remember me saying this. There's going to be some, probably not a superstar. If it's a superstar, that would be crazy, because that would be a real crazy dynasty, but probably like a just a star, you know what I'm saying? Just a star, not a superstar, but some star is gonna go to San Antonio and be Wemby's sidekick. It just makes sense. There's no way that Wemby is in San Antonio and they just don't bring any, you know, star talent in beside him ever. Somebody's gonna do it eventually, and it's just a matter of who. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any ideas of who you think will be the guy to go to San Antonio and play alongside Wemby.